What if you had clicked on this video and you thought it was going to be a review of Speak No Evil, and then it just ended up being the Speak No Evil trailer on a loop for 10 hours straight? Which direction will I go? Hey, what's up everybody? Nick here, and tonight I wanted to give you guys my spoiler-free review for Speak No Evil, Blumhouse's latest horror film to come out into theaters and potentially piss people off. Now, I'm going to let you guys know before I get into the movie. As I said, this is going to be spoiler-free. You are not going to hear anything about this movie that you have not already been shown in trailers. I do not want to ruin anything. A little backstory on Speak No Evil is, it's actually a remake of a Danish film from 2 years ago. I know, right? The movie just came out a couple years ago and we've got an American version. Having said that, if you have seen the original movie, I don't want you to think that going into this movie you're going to know what happens and how everything plays out. Because as somebody that's seen the original movie, I can tell you there are some differences in this movie. Starting off with the cons, the negatives about Speak No Evil, I really just have two things I want to talk about. And the first one is the first 10 minutes or so of the movie, the pacing is a little weird. It's kind of jump cutty and it seems like things are just kind of being shown to us, but we're not getting a lot of exposition. Now, I was worried in the first 10 minutes, oh my God, that's what this movie's going to be. It just feels so forced, so quick, so rushed. I'm happy to say that the movie does not continue on that way, but the beginning there definitely might lose you a little bit, and it might make you worry about what you're in for. And the next and last con that I really have to talk about without going into detail is just some of the decisions in the third act, some of the things that happen, some of the fake outs. There's one or two moments that I was like, I don't know. Overall, it redeems itself by the end, but there was a couple moments that I just felt like we were playing the string out a little bit too much, or we were straying a little bit too much from the source material for my liking. But that's really all I have to say when it comes to cons for this movie. So getting into the pros, I mean, what isn't a pro about this movie? And you guys might be thinking I'm being facetious. Oh, you're overreacting. Let me tell you guys something. These trailers did nothing for me. I actually got to the point where I was annoyed about seeing the trailer, like everybody else on social media did, but it was just because I felt like the trailers looked so generic. I was like, oh my gosh, another spooky thriller from Blumhouse. I've seen this a million times. And nothing in the trailer grabbed me. Nothing about those trailers made me want to go see this movie. The only reason I went out and saw the movie was because of early positive buzz, and I realized, well, there's nothing coming out this week or next, really, so I don't know, let's go to the theater. And I'm happy to say I was completely wrong, and this is an instance where I think the marketing let the movie down. So first and foremost, I have to commend the performances. They're incredible across the board, but specifically, James McAvoy and Mackenzie Davis, they stand out. I mean, just complete standouts in this movie. Whether it's fear, anger, strength, whatever it is they're trying to convey, oh my gosh, does it come through on the screen. I was actually floored by how good Mackenzie Davis was. I haven't even really seen her in much, or if I have, I just didn't remember. She was incredible in this movie. I absolutely loved her. And James McAvoy, he genuinely might be one of the greatest actors working today. And I do not feel like that's being hyperbolic. This guy is so damn good. Whether it's Split, whether it's this, whether it's It Chapter 2, which I love him in, he is incredible. He just turns in great performance after great performance. And without him in this movie, it might still be good, but it wouldn't be as good as it is. He is a psycho, and he's also, his transformation into becoming this just jacked dude makes him so much creepier because he's already menacing enough personality-wise in this movie, but he's also physically imposing. He's so good in this movie. I genuinely am not kidding when I say he should be considered for an award. He really, really should, because he's incredible in this movie. I want to shout out really just the setting and the look of the movie. It's a really pretty movie. There's a lot of overhead shots, and I feel like a lot of that is done to really show the isolation, to show how far away these people are from society, how far off the beaten path they are. I really liked some of the camera work to really kind of accentuate that claustrophobia and that aloneness. I really liked that a lot. Sound design in this movie is top notch. There are multiple points throughout this movie where something will happen and it's just ratcheted up out of nowhere. I actually jumped one time because the sound design was really effective. The placement of these peaks in sound, it worked really well for me. But also the score. This music builds into a crescendo during some moments that it drowns everything else out that's happening on screen, and it's kind of like intoxicating. I was like, wow, that's really good. It really made it stand out. It's one of those like theater shaking moments. I like that a lot. So the sound design across the board is great in this movie. One thing I was worried about with this movie, if you've seen the original, is they're going to Americanize it. So is it going to really be R-rated? I was actually worried it was PG-13. I didn't know going into it that it wasn't PG-13. I'm happy to say it's definitely an R-rated movie. Although it does zig a couple times when you might expect it to zag based off of the original, it is very much an R-rated movie. You shouldn't be taking the kids to see this and, showing it to your toddler. It's an R-rated movie. There's plenty of brutality to be had in this movie. One of the most impressive things about this movie is the tightness of the script. Something will be introduced earlier in the movie that seems like nothing. It's just a little point here, a little mention of something there, and it comes back an hour later and plays a role in the film. And I'm watching it when that happens a couple times, and I'm like, oh my God. They went all the way back to that. And that is just an example of a really tight script. This script was absolutely gone over and over and over before it went before cameras, or the writer was just that good on their first pass. Because it is a very tight script where I do believe you're going to struggle to find holes in this movie. I mean, I genuinely think across the board, the movie has this lasting impact on you because of the performances. It's very, very tantalizing. It just kind of sweeps you up in it. It's got great sound design, great camera work, great script, brutality. It builds and builds and builds and builds till the third act. The trailer doesn't show you the best stuff about this movie, and I was really happy to have that have been the case. It's just, look, guys, it's really good. It's really, really good. I don't know where I'd put it right now on a tier list of, horror films of the year, but this is right up there. And again, take that from someone that did not have any interest in this movie whatsoever and just went to go to the movies on a Thursday night. So I'm happy to say that I absolutely recommend Speak No Evil very, very, very strongly. I would give this movie 4.5 out of 5 because aside from like 2 minor gripes, there's just nothing about the movie that pissed me off. I found myself eating out of the palm of this movie's hands. And that is an example of a great movie. But I want to hear down below in the comment section what you guys thought. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Have you seen the original? Have you not? And now are you going to go check it out? Does this review make you want to go see this movie more? I want to hear it all down below in the comment section. Please leave a like on this video. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. This is Nick at the Lost River Drive-In, and I'm pulling out.